My name's Tara Miller, and I own the Heartland Interior Design. We designed Boot Barn's new corporate headquarters here in Southern California. Come take a look. When the client hired us, they said they wanted this space to feel like a modern Montana lodge at dusk, but make it gothic, sexy cowgirl. So in order to do that, we focused on dark, moody, and natural materials throughout the space. Here, we are in the entrance, and the first thing that you'll see is this wonderful large-scale mosaic of running horses. These are individual hand-cut pieces that create this beautiful image. And we did this because running horses is one of Boot Barn's main brand imagery, and we really wanted to reinforce the brand identity as soon as you entered the space. Now, the second thing you see is truly special, and it is part of a 4-story waterfall. We did floor-to-ceiling windows in the entry, and that is the water basin that is actually catching the bottom of the waterfall, because that really helps you feel like you're transported to Montana. And we always focus on bringing the outdoors in, so you'll see we have a lot of natural trees, shrubbery, and mosses throughout. And then the front desk really anchors the space. It is a large hand-carved piece of stone, very rough, very rugged, just like a lot of the consumers who buy products at Boot Barn. We have the black shojiban wood, which is actually a burnt wood that's flanking the walls. And the sconces are aged brass with true horsehair mane in them. So again, all these are nods back to the natural, the rugged, the equestrian brand that is Boot Barn. And then they didn't want their name Boot Barn on the back wall. They wanted something more subtle. So Keep West is their brand slogan. We did that in a matte black, so it kind of just blends in and is very subtle. Over here, we have the seating area. We have these 2 swivel chairs in a red oxblood leather with an incredible fringe on the back. The fireplace itself is actually faux. It's a water vapor fireplace lit by LED, because here in California, we can't have open flame. And the front of the fireplace is covered in a Roman clay to give it that neat texture. And this is my friend Commander. I found him at Round Top, Texas at the Round Top Antique Show, and I knew this would be his forever home. And this is all anchored with the beautiful laser-cut hair on hide Kyle bunting rug. Now, in order to leave the entry, you have to be transcended through this metal portal that cuts through the wood, because I really wanted to delineate the difference between the entry and entering the rest of the space. So it's a nice symbolic gesture of leaving the entry and kind of going on the journey of the rest of the space. Come on, I'll show you. We took a really elemental approach to the floors of this building. The theme of the first floor is stone. The second floor is leather, and the third is iron. The theme of the fourth floor is timber. But here on the first floor, the theme is stone, and you can see we have this wonderful stony rocky basin at the bottom of the 4-story waterfall. And this is comprised of both natural and artificial stones covered in plants and moss to give it a real authentic natural look. Here at the first floor break room, it's framed in these 2 columns wrapped in leather with a really unique whip stitch detail. But what I really like is the stone of both the countertop and the backsplash, because we are on the stone floor. And I did a CAD drawing of how I wanted the stone fabricator to crack the backsplash off, and it really gives kind of an abstracted mountainous look to that backsplash. We have Roman clay on the walls, brass and cognac wall sconces. These pendants add a little bit of drama, a little bit of sparkle to the space, which we love. And then adjacent to the break room, we have the first floor dining hall. We really wanted to avoid having it feel like a cafeteria. So in order to do that, we did multiple different types of seating. Right here in front of me, you'll see a really long, live edge communal dining table anchored by these rugs that we actually sourced from Montana, female-owned business called District Loom. You should check her out. And then behind me, we have this double-sided banquettes and a cognac leather with a channel stitching. We have these fabulous irregular tabletops. They're not a perfect circle. They're more like a tumbled stone you would find. And this is all in front of their giant TV screen, which they play their videos, their campaign ads, their imagery on to really reinforce that brand identity. The final thing you see from here is the 4-story stair that connects all 4 floors so that they can all look over and talk to each other if they want. We actually wanted to wrap the handrails in leather, but in order to make it more commercially applicable, this is a vinyl that looks like leather, and it won't darken over time from people's oil of their hands, and it will stay this beautiful the entire time that they're here. This is one of the conference rooms on the first floor. Now, the client really wanted floor-to-ceiling stone on the TV wall, but it was very expensive and very heavy, so a design solution we came up with was these gauged porcelain panels. It's a tile 4 by 8 feet, and the printing on tile has come a long way. It actually pierces the skin of the tile just like a tattoo would pierce the skin of a human. So it creates for a really realistic stone look at substantially less cost and substantially less weight. And since we have 3 walls of windows in this beautiful stone wall, we didn't have a lot of room for art, so we decided to let the lighting be the sculptural artistic element in the room. This is blackened brass with desert jasper stone in it, and it's a real beautiful talking piece. The conference room itself has a table with a beautiful live edge. It's stained in a deep chocolate stain. The center can actually pop up and it has all of your electrical needs that you could ever need to charge your laptop or your phone. We have the white leather chairs on the side with the matte black arm, and then we have another beautiful brown vintage rug sourced from Montana. And then we come into the first floor elevator lobby, which is seemingly held up by these stone columns and wood beams, and we have heavy wood trim on both sides painted in a beautiful black color called Black Beauty. And then you'll see a start to a trend where we use Boot Barn's own campaign imagery throughout the project. And these ones are illuminated by an aged brass sconce. I'm standing atop vintage rugs sourced directly from Montana. And these are right next to some wonderful stone benches with iron legs that I found in Round Top, Texas. In some of the workstations on the first floor, we decided to go with a carpet that looks like an abstracted marble pattern so that it fits with the stone theme. And then, for better acoustical quality, we did felt ceiling beams, but we had a wood print put on it, so you get some of that natural color and texture that we needed to warm this office building up. Collaboration spaces are vital in bringing people together. Here, we designed a socio-pedal furniture grouping where everyone is facing each other. This encourages eye contact, conversation, and collaboration, and this leads to great ideas for the company. Seating arrangement is anchored in a hair-on-hide rug by Kyle Bunting. Then we have the endless sofa where everyone can sit. We have 2 hair-on-hide lounge chairs and this side table that I designed myself to look like a studded leather jacket. We created custom niches in the ceiling so that the drapery could hang down. You don't have to see any drapery hardware. It's a little pocket. And we covered the walls, floor to ceiling, in this super deep Merlot velvet. And then we decided to hang some Boot Barn campaign imagery from the ceiling with these brass chain links to really give it a neat suspended look. Now, one of the coolest parts of this room is actually that we used gabion baskets. Now, gabion baskets are originally used to be on the side of rivers to stop erosion, but we use them as a light filtering technique since this is the stone floor. They're metal baskets filled with stone, and then throughout the day it filters the light as it comes into the space. And so not only do we have that on the stone floor, we also have these little side tables of travertine and lava rock, which really help tie us into the stone floor. Now, let's go up to the second floor. Welcome to the second floor. Because this is the leather floor, we asked Boot Barn for their favorite campaign photo. and they sent us this beautiful image, which we then decided to turn into an incredible laser-cut hair and hide mural. We handpicked through hundreds of different leather colors to get it as close to their image as possible, and it truly takes your breath away when those elevator doors open up. We made the space feel more cozy by adding beautiful crown molding, trim, and base, and then we flanked the mural with 2 sconces that actually have real lassos hung on them to just give it a little bit of extra warmth. I wanted the second floor break room to look and feel more like a saloon than a break room. So we studied oversized wood carved bars for our inspiration. We decided to take the millwork all the way up to the ceiling and do an oversized crown molding piece right at the top. We curved the openings to create little niches and display the glassware. We wanted drama, 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 so we went with the Calcutta Viola stone for both the countertop and the backsplash, which we decided to take all the way up because this stone has beautiful purples and reds and off-whites, and that fit the warm color scheme of the second floor perfectly. Now, to keep this space from feeling like a sterile office, we added lots of vintage pieces, but none shine brighter than the 3 vintage chandeliers here on the second floor. The middle one is 9 feet tall and the smaller ones are 3 feet. And while they sparkle on the second floor, you can even get sneak peeks of them from downstairs in the first floor dining hall. Directly across from the break room are the seating nooks. Now, before, this area housed 2 metal phone booths, and we decided not to use those because they were closed off, cold, and sterile. Instead, we decided to frame out the walls and create 2 unique seating nooks here. We have a crushed velvet bench that wraps the back of the wall, topped with a bedazzled wallpaper. And then to light it up, we have these saddle leather sconces that have a whip stitch and they backlight the space for a really cozy, moody vibe. Welcome to the boardroom. This is not your average boardroom. We wanted it to be on brand, elevated, and highly unique. So for the finishes, the came-in wall covering was an easy yes. The wood panel, easy yes. But we also wanted to add some functional things because there are TVs in here, so we added blackout shades and acoustical ceiling spray so that there would be a lot of privacy in this room. Since there's a lot of windows and TVs, it doesn't leave us much room for art, and so we wanted to see if we could create a 3D chandelier out of fringe because fringe is a common Western fashion item, and long story short, we were successful. We did create it, and it looks truly incredible in here. The table itself is extremely long, has live edge, which adds a really nice, neat, rustic feel. And the chairs are the cool part because on one end, the chairs start at black, and slowly they go to dark brown, chocolate brown, and then they melt into a cognac color at this end. So we have this incredible ombre effect. And as an interior designer, that's a dream, something that you want to do, and you usually pitch it to a client and they say no. But Aisha, their senior VP of marketing, said, what if we ombre the chairs? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you are reading my mind. That is incredible. So that was really fun to get the yes on that. And then of course, everything is atop beautiful vintage rugs sourced in Montana. So not a bad place to have a board meeting, huh? We wanted each workstation area to feel unique and inspiring. So on each floor, we did different paint, carpet, and paired it with campaign imagery. Here on the second floor, we paired warm garnet carpet tiles with this really warm horse mural, and it looks incredible. We created multiple collaboration areas to break up the workstations. This office once was white and sterile, so to warm it up, we added crystal chandeliers, wood beam acoustic panels, velvet, wool, hair on hide. Layering in all these materials makes it feel more warm, cozy, and approachable. This is the hallway that leads to the photo studio. So I lovingly call it the model walkway. So I wanted to inspire them as they walked to the photo studio. So we did heavy wall paneling and campaign murals as you go down. And then if anyone needs to leave a shoot for a quick phone call, have this line of benches, little stools and tables in case they need to take a quick call and price. Welcome to the third floor. This is known as the iron floor. So our goal was to make it cool and icy with little pops of warmth so it didn't get too depressing. So with the third floor elevator lobby, we focused on heavy millwork. We designed this custom millwork detail that had heavy chair rails, molding, egg and dart, and a beautiful crown molding. And we added a little bit of a sheen to it so it would reflect the light and really pop nicely. Then we added reclaimed wood beams and columns to add a little bit of warmth. But my favorite thing is this metal chain link wall sconce that we added to just let you know that you were on the metal floor. Then we worked with Boot Barn's art director to select some of their beautiful winter campaign imagery. To finish off the space, we have a tricolor hair on hide bench with a hammered metal leg for a rugged look. Because the third floor's theme is iron and it feels cold to the touch and we're trying to evoke cold, wintry feelings, I picked this countertop stone, which we also used on the backsplash, because it just felt like a cold, abstracted winter blizzard to me. And since this is the smallest break room, we wanted to visually open it up. And we accomplished that by using this heavily antiqued mirror, which reflects both the light and the surrounding areas, which visually makes it feel larger. Then we did these white ceramic sconces with black plumbing and hardware details just as the finishing touches. And over here, we actually have metal tables and then chairs in a blue commercial grade vinyl that just add to that cold blue winter feeling. The third floor conference rooms were really fun to design because we focused on metallic properties, like this wall covering, for example. It actually has a metallic background and then the pattern was printed on top of it, so when the light comes in, it really sparkles. And then these light fixtures, a combination of black steel and brass. We have a warm ebony wood conference table to add a little bit of warmth. These slate blue leather chairs with a matte black base just reinforces that metal feeling in this room. What I love about this conference room is two things. One, it's the metallic chain link light fixture that we put up here, and actually wasn't big enough, so we did two and we butt jointed them together. And then two is these icy chrome arms on these chairs. It feels so metallic and cold. Paired with this blue leather, it's absolutely perfect for this wintry iron floor. Welcome to the fourth and final floor of Boot Barn's corporate headquarters. This is the timber floor. So we're thinking treetop, which is appropriate because we're on the top floor here. Here in the elevator lobby, we have the slogan, Keep West. We have reclaimed wood slats on the walls. We also have reclaimed columns and beams overhead. Then we have this beautiful cut and stacked split wood against the wall underneath this piece here. So it gives you that modern Montana lodge feel that we talked about at the beginning. And we have some beautiful velvet and metal benches just to add a nice place to sit if you're waiting in the elevator lobby for someone. And again, we're all about layering those materials in to create that warmth that the space needs, because that's how you can take a space from feeling like a cold, sterile office and into a warm, kind of more hospitality style work environment. And then here on two sides of the elevator lobby, we have beautiful art from a talented female artist named Hillary Laurie. You should definitely find her on Instagram. This one features a horse and rider, and he's leading some horses. And then the other one is more of an up-close shot of an abstract cowboy. And the colors work perfectly for this floor because it has, you know, those deep greens, the terracotta reds and the chestnuts and the cognacs. Absolutely stunning. Welcome to the 4th floor break room, you guys. Not only is this a cool break room, it's also the vantage point to see the top of the 4-story waterfall. You hear it? It is so tranquil and calming. It's wonderful. Okay, so this 4th floor break room, we had a really warm wood tone for our cabinets, some nice oil rub bronze pulls and plumbing fixtures. This is a beautiful granite that we actually did a leathered finish on, which is where an acid actually eats the top of the finish off, so you can really feel the texture of that stone. Some lit shelves with the raw wood just to add a little bit of unique character and accessories. And then I love this detail where we actually took the side splash and connected it with that shelf and then did a subtle little curve all the way to the countertop. And then the secret is the hidden outlets. You guys look, this is a true fig outlet and it's painted over it so it camouflages the outlet into the natural stone. Absolutely wonderful. And then, as you've seen throughout the project, beautiful Boot Barn campaign imagery is shown throughout this area. A nice little eating nook, rug, green vinyl poofs, a nice rough rustic table, and then some horns, some antlers that I found in Round Top, Texas, some milk glass, some wrought iron rods. And then over here, if you really want the best view of the waterfall, we have this countertop right by the staircase with some counter stools, so you could sit here, eat your lunch, watch the waterfall, take a quick phone call. Absolutely spectacular. And off of the break room, we have this great seating area. Now, we love to design for both introverts and extroverts. So if you want to sit in the big open area with all your friends, you can. But we also love creating seating nooks or niches so that people can have a little more closed, quiet area to sit. Now, this is a wonderful eating nook. I love it because we have this textured green vinyl that looks like a real leather next to this reclaimed wood. And then we have a brown, deep chocolate Cayman vinyl print on the wall, which gives us so much moody texture. And we have another beautiful Hillary Laurie art piece there. The black art light, and it just pops so well off that wall. I love the high contrast between her light white, off-white, and then this chocolate Cayman wall covering. Absolutely stunning. And then we have this beautiful velvet back vinyl seat and this stone tabletop. Such a wonderful break room. Guys, welcome to the last space on the tour today. This is my favorite conference room, so I'm so excited to show it to you. It's my favorite for many reasons. One, green is my favorite color, so obviously on the timber floor I could use a lot of green. But number two is I love ombres and watercolors, and this incredible wallpaper gave me all of that. And I am an archery hunter, so I love whitetail deer, whitetail buck, and so this antler chandelier against the green wallpaper is everything to me. I love it so much, and I love the green chairs. And let me move a chair for you because I want you to see the leg of this table. It's actually tree trunk legs. So it looks like 3 tree trunks holding up this dark oak table, and I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was an absolute pleasure to design Boot Barn's corporate headquarters. If you want to see more of our design work, go to our website, check out our Instagram at @_Heartland. And if you're interested in working with us in the future, please submit an inquiry form on our website. We would love to hear from you because we love making unique spaces because you aren't like everybody else and your space shouldn't be either. Thanks for watching. Bye.